My name is Rachel Miller. I live in Denver, Colorado, in a small but cozy house filled with memories, some joyful, some painful. My life had always seemed pretty ordinary from the outside. I worked as a school counselor, I had a teenage daughter, and most people who knew me thought I had everything under control. But what they didn't know, and what I kept hidden from everyone, was a secret that I had carried for years. The night my brother's son, Adam, stayed over changed everything. It wasn't scandalous or shocking in the way people might assume from the outside. It was deeper. It was personal. It was about truth, family, and the courage to finally face what I had kept buried for too long. The night he arrived. It was early spring, a Friday evening in March, when Adam came to stay. He was 20 years old in college and had been struggling emotionally after a recent breakup. My brother Daniel asked me if Adam could spend the weekend with me and my daughter Emily, just to get away from his own house for a while. Of course, I said without hesitation. He's family. He's always welcome here. When Adam arrived that evening, carrying just a backpack and looking worn out from the world, I noticed right away that his usual spark was gone. Adam had always been the energetic, funny one at family gatherings, the cousin who could make Emily laugh until she cried. But now, his eyes looked heavy, his shoulders slumped. "Hey, Aunt Rachel," he said quietly, managing a small smile. I hugged him tightly. "You don't have to pretend here. You're safe with us." A simple dinner. That night, we had a simple dinner. Roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and Emily's favorite corn on the cob. The three of us sat around the table, and for the first time all week, I saw Adam smile when Emily teased him about his college hoodie that had a coffee stain on it. After dinner, Emily went upstairs to FaceTime her friends, and Adam and I stayed at the table talking. He opened up slowly, like someone testing the waters before diving in. "She just left," he said finally, referring to his girlfriend. No warning, no explanation. One day we were fine, the next she told me she wasn't happy. I feel like I wasn't enough. I felt a pang in my chest. His words mirrored feelings I had known too well. "Adam," I said softly, "sometimes people leave not because you weren't enough, but because they were searching for something within themselves. Their leaving says more about them than it does about you." He looked at me for a long time, and I could tell he was really hearing me. The secret I hid. Later that night, after Emily had gone to bed, Adam and I sat in the living room with mugs of hot chocolate. The house was quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator. And that's when he asked the question that made my chest tighten. "Aunt Rachel, why don't you ever date?" I froze. It was such a simple question, but it hit like a thunderbolt. Everyone in the family had noticed, of course. I had been single since Emily was little. I always brushed off questions with a laugh, saying I was too busy with work or that I enjoyed my independence. But the truth was far heavier. The truth was that Emily's father, my late husband James, hadn't just left us when he died in an accident. Before that, he had left me broken in ways no one ever knew. Our marriage had been filled with silent battles, unspoken disappointments, and wounds I never shared with anyone. After he passed, I made a promise to myself. I would protect Emily, and I would never let myself be vulnerable to that kind of pain again. So I closed my heart and locked it away. That was my secret. The moment of truth. I took a deep breath, staring into my mug, unsure if I could speak it out loud. But Adam's eyes were steady kind. He wasn't judging. He genuinely wanted to understand. "Adam," I said quietly, "I do have a reason. It's not because I don't believe in love. It's because I've been hurt before. Badly. And I don't ever want Emily to see me go through that again." He didn't say anything at first. He just nodded slowly. "You mean Uncle James?" I nodded. Yes. He was a good man in some ways, but our marriage wasn't what people thought. And after he passed, I thought maybe it was just easier to shut that part of my life away. The room fell silent, and for the first time in years, I felt the weight of that secret lifting. Someone else knew now. Someone else understood. His response. Adam leaned forward, his voice soft but firm. "Aunt Rachel, you've given so much to everyone else, especially Emily. But you deserve happiness too. You can't carry the past forever. You taught me tonight that when people leave, it's not about us not being enough. Maybe it's time you believed that too. I looked at him stunned. Here was this young man, barely stepping into adulthood, and yet his words carried a wisdom I had denied myself for years. For the first time, I felt tears streaming down my cheeks, not from sadness, but from release. Oh, the turning point. That night, Adam didn't just stay in my house. He stayed in my heart, as someone who unknowingly gave me permission to heal. My secret was no longer mine alone, and that made it easier to face. Over the weekend, we laughed, cooked breakfast together, and even watched an old movie marathon. Emily loved having Adam around, and I could see the bond between them growing even stronger. But privately, I felt something shifting inside me. For years, I had been the strong one, the one who never wavered, who never cried in front of anyone, who carried the world on her shoulders. That night showed me that vulnerability wasn't weakness. It was courage. Moving forward. When Adam left Sunday evening, he hugged me tightly at the door. "Thank you for letting me stay," he said. "I needed this." I smiled. "Me too, Adam. More than you know." As his car drove away, Emily came beside me and said, "Mom, you look lighter, happier." And she was right. From that night on, I made a quiet promise to myself. I wouldn't let fear rule my life anymore. I began to open up, not just to family, but to new experiences. I started volunteering more, joining community groups, and even going out with friends instead of making excuses. Adam's stay had changed me. He had unknowingly helped me find the courage to let go of my secret and to believe that maybe, just maybe, happiness could still be waiting for me. Conclusion. Sometimes, the most unexpected moments change everything. A simple weekend visit, a heartfelt question, and the courage to finally share the truth can open doors we thought were locked forever. My secret wasn't that I was broken. It was that I had forgotten I could be whole again. And because of one night, one conversation, I found the strength to begin again. And that's a secret I'll never hide again.